I'm Zakaria and I'm only a student from here in Gothenburg, but I've been given the opportunity to share some voices from my friends in Palestine, who are especially students, and what is the perspective of the students there and their situation. So first a thank you to my friends Yasmina, Hayam, Farah and their friends in turn for compiling this list of things they want me to share. So first, they have given me many points to share on the different situations for Palestinian academics. One is starting with Gaza, obviously, that has affected even them on the West Bank. All the universities being completely destroyed, all the students being killed, seeing libraries, archives, museums, and the cultural heritage, as well as the education, being attacked in this way, it makes it obvious that the genocide is not just targeting people, but also their culture, the society, everything that works to make the society work. At the same time, they are experiencing a very intensified situation in the West Bank. The past years, it's become normal to see military traumatize students at the universities with raids, clashing with people, arresting them, and in some instances even killing them. Just yesterday, they had a funeral for a student shot dead in Birzeit. So this occurs often, and local students are deeply affected by it. For example, students that have to cancel the training days, for example at the hospital, can go without training days, something so important for education in their field, for a whole semester, just because of the risk of getting hurt, getting killed, getting arrested. Students are also deeply affected by the occupation's economical effects. So the tuition fees, they can't afford them sometimes. And if they can afford the tuition fees, maybe they can't afford the public transportation to the universities. If they can afford the tuition fee and the public transportation, the Israeli regime and occupation has put checkpoints strategically on the way to universities to make sure that they are delayed to the lessons or even missing them out completely, and risking passing by settler roads, harassments and attacks. So there's no single student in Palestine that haven't known someone being hurt in such a way at a checkpoint on the way to university. The regime also imposes control on the occupation in different ways. So even if the Palestinian universities are supposed to be under Palestinian sovereignty, that's not really the case, because the course materials, the course plans, textbooks, even like, for example, chemical compounds needed for your chemical course or chemistry course, they can be controlled by Israel, making sure that that necessary lab work, the training that you need as a student, it can't be fulfilled. These are things that we take for granted here in our education in the West. So the only difference is that we are born here or either have gotten out of such a situation. Meanwhile, they can't really, it's such an unfair thing that they have to suffer through that. One other example of control is how visas of foreign professors that are supposed to be visiting professors at the Palestinian universities can be retracted arbitrarily because it's Israel controlling them. One last point that they want us to be reminded of is the countless number of imprisonments of Palestinians, among them students. So students who have often been arrested on very loose grounds. Their right to education is not being met. They can't really do that from inside the prison. So all I've mentioned is something that Palestinians share as a situation for them, something that we could have experienced as students. We have to remember that. Of course, many in the West Bank have a hard time focusing on studying while this is happening, but they do appreciate the support and they love being heard, being seen. So each day that we are here, for example at the encampment, it makes it worth it because we can hear from them that it gives them energy, and they are the ones being oppressed. So thank you deeply, and free Palestine.